Father, will bless you. Teach us your word in the name of Jesus. This is the ministry of Moses, part 25. We are going to take our text from Exodus chapter 17, from verse 7 to 11. Now, Moses renamed the land where the Israelites were at present because they tempted the Lord. Now, because the people tempted the Lord in that land, Moses called the name of the place Massa and Mariba. He called it Massa and Mariba. Now, the easiest way to tempt the Lord is when you choose to doubt Him. Doubting God is tempting God. You need to get this. Doubting God is tempting God. Doubting God is equal to tempting God. That means each time you choose to doubt God, you are tempting God. Now, the result is usually unpleasant. It is easy for you to tempt God, but to withstand the weight of it is usually very hard to bear. In verse 8, because of this strange act of the Israelite, their sins opened the door for the enemy to fight them. The first war the Israelites fought after the Red Sea was with the Amalekites. They fought, these people fought with Israel in Rephidim. Now let us consider verse 9 to 10. And Moses said unto Joshua, choose horse out, choose out of us men and go out, fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with a rod in my hand. So Joshua did as Moses had said to him and fought with the Amalek. And Moses and Aaron and Hur went up to the top of the hill. Now, the first time Joshua's name was mentioned during the leadership of Moses was when it was time for war. This means that among the Israelites, Joshua's boldness and bravery have been visible to all. So, it was easy for Moses to call him. A good leader must be able to see the hidden gifts of others and help them to nurture it. Gift killers are not leaders. They are actually an enemy in disguise. Leadership is about building the inbuilt ability of others, putting them where they can function well, and allowing them to display their God-given talent. That's leadership. It's not about making people your slave. It's about helping them to build, to work on the God-given ability in them. The Israelites may not observe the bravery of Joshua, but Moses did. A good leader is a good observer. A good leader is a good observer. Many territories are defeated today not because saviors and heroes are not in the land, but because the leader is blind. He cannot even discern the warriors among the people. To him, everybody is weak. If you are a leader that cannot discern, you may end up being disgraced, because defeat is a disgrace. Defeat is a disgrace. A blind leader would never see the good in others. They know how to talk down on others, but to appreciate people is difficult. So Joshua became popular because it was time for war. He was not trying to gain any attention before his time. He waited patiently, and in due season, it was announced. This was supposed to be a war time, but for Joshua, it was an announcement time, because that was when his fame began to rise. He suddenly became the chief security officer and the commander of the Israelites' army. His responsibility was to gather capable men for war and also train them to fight. When God announces you, when God announces you, it is not time to start relaxing and relenting. It is time to work. Announcement time is work time. Announcement time is work time. Joshua, that was only, training himself secretly, now became someone that will train others openly. In the ministry of Moses, there are some structures of leadership that was in place. We have Moses, who is the general overseer, or you can say the senior pastor. You have Aaron, who was the assistant GO, or the assistant senior pastor. Now you also have Joshua, who is the commander of the army. After Joshua, you have some other ministers. These ministers, they include prophetess such as Miriam and other people that God used in the ministry of Moses. After the ministers, then you have congregation, which is the Israelites. Now, at present, there were five. At present, there are five structures in the ministry of Moses, and those structures have been given above. Another thing to note about Joshua was his obedience. The Bible recorded that he did according to all that Moses told him. He was not only a man that can fight, he was also a man that can obey. Obedience is strength. Obedience is strength. If your strength cannot be channeled through the pathways of obedience, then it is a waste. The glory of every man is in their obedience. The reason the Bible records that the glory of the youth is in their strength is that God expects that the youth will channel their strength in the way of obedience. If your strength cannot produce obedience, then you are in error. In verse 11, God used Moses' hand as a remote control for the battle. So, if Moses dropped his hand, the Israelites will lose. But if his hand remains upright, the Israelites will be winning. So, it means that the outcome of the battle will be determined on the mountain. This is a picture of prayer and right steps. When you pray without taking necessary steps, then the whole exercise may become useless. Joshua and his team did the fighting part, while Moses, alongside with Aaron and Hur, did the prayer part. Joshua and his team did the fighting part, while Aaron, Moses, and Hur did the prayer part. This action of Moses here is called intercession. This is the power of intercession. Joshua was on the battlefront while Moses and his two partners were praying for their victory. Who is praying for you? Do you have, or do you think it is not necessary? I know you are smart and eloquent, but I want you to understand that there are some battles in life that you will never win without anybody praying for you. If you pray for yourself, God will hear. If others do that, God will still hear. But the effect is not the same in heaven. When people intercede for you, it means you can be trusted. You are a blessing. You are doing something that is positive, and it also shows that your life have ministered to others. And in response to how deep they have been, they have benefited from you, they will raise incense of prayer that will go to heaven from them on your behalf. So when people pray for you, it means you have done something that deserves that exercise. So when you pray for yourself, it is good, but when people pray for you, it has a different meaning in heaven. I hope you understand that. If it is only you that is praying for you, then you have an issue. If it is only you that is praying for you, then you have an issue. It means you have not been a blessing enough. It means you have been a blessing to only yourself. When you become a blessing to others, naturally, without saying it, people will begin to pray for you, because that will be their own way to respond or reciprocate that blessing you have shown to them. It can mean, when you are the only one praying for yourself, it can mean that your life is contributing little or nothing to your generation. May the Lord help us to be a blessing in the name of Jesus. This is the wisdom of God. Don't sell it.